Alright, on to card number 9. So this is the one that has that square, which is a 4x4 square on an A2 card front, which is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So you're going to have a 1/4 inch on, you know, 3 sides of it, right? And then this one has like three little either hearts or circles or images that can go under it. You can use the little paper scraps. I'm literally saying they're little tiny paper scraps. So, you know, if you want to use them, you can. I will probably switch them up to something else. Like an image or whatever. And this one, I actually got a stamped image already on a panel from Jackie, who sent me a random act of kindness card and included some fun images. And so I thought, well, color wise, it looks like it's going to work with what I have, so I'm going to use it. I'd say use it or lose it, but it's, well, okay, I might lose it because I tend to lose things. Now, I don't know what it's stamped with ink-wise because I didn't stamp it, but size-wise, it looks like it's going to work pretty good. Now, I have a plethora of pattern paper, right? So I am going to come in and add a piece of pattern paper to the background. This is technically not how this is supposed to work, right? But I like the option. So it's got pink on this one. This one wasn't one of my pattern ones. This was just kind of one of my, I like it being plain, and I'm good with that. But I think, well, that one would work, but I like the other side. Does anyone else have that problem? I like the other side. I can't use it. I like the other side. I do that all the time. I do that to myself all the time. Ooh, I kind of like that one. I mean, I like the other one too, but that one would work too. Let's go with this one. Although I mean, there's multiple ones in there. I need to let it go. Okay. Not that I'm having an argument with myself or anything. So I am going to come in and cut another piece of pattern paper, just to use up some of that pattern paper that is in my card or my paper pack that I probably won't use anyways. You could definitely go with some, you know, maybe one of your gaudier looking ones that you're like, I don't like it. That's usually what I do for the big backgrounds, that at least for something like this. I love that one. In the heart of every cowgirl beats the soul of a warrior. Okay, I said it. It's okay, I can ink it now. I need a stamp set that says that. I'm not gonna lie. And I didn't come in with my ink yet for this one, which I should have done already, but I will do it now. So that tea-dyed distress ink, I'm just going to bring in my blending brush. I didn't do it at all on the last card, which was, but I think that one was, it wasn't overly noticeable, so I didn't feel that I needed to. Because that dark brown was so dark that it was fine. Okay, so there we go for that one. All I needed to do, the brown I don't plan on doing, but I'm going to pop this one on there already. Now, this is where I have some options I can do with that pre-stamped square that I don't know the ink of. I'm just gonna assume it's a dye ink and not a pigment ink. You could, you know, color a spot and see if it works. You don't have to color it at all and just put it on there. This would probably be the safest route when you get a panel that you don't know what it's stamped in. The other option would be color pencils, or you could watercolor, but this isn't watercolor paper, so I'd kind of lean away from that one. I am just going to come in with a little bit of color for this one. So I'm just going to come in with my pink one here and just add the pink in there, and it's not, I don't think it's gonna be an issue. So we're just gonna go with it. I don't want to add a lot of color to this. I'm just gonna add a little bit. I think that's gonna stick out. And then I think I'm gonna come in and do the beak or like the beak and the feet in the orange shades that I have. And I'm just gonna do some really simple coloring on this one. I don't plan on doing I'll come in with a second layer, like one layer on the little talons or the claws, and then just kind of add in a lower shade on there, and then add that to the beak as well. And then I think that's it. I think that's all I'm gonna color on that one, and let it be. So it adds just a little bit of color, but it doesn't add a lot. I'm not worried about my markers. I didn't feel that it was causing any like smearing. Where's my scrap piece that I just had 2 seconds ago? I just used it for my other card. Fine. So just to clean off that marker tip, I don't see any ink on it. Plus this was blue, it wasn't black, so it's not gonna be as, I don't know, it just wasn't. I didn't see any blue come through on there, so I'm not gonna worry about finding the orange when I go in that route. Do I want to do a super cool gray just on the eyes to give them a little bit of dimension? There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna add this one on there. You could definitely come in with like a little blending brush to add a little bit of color underneath. Maybe I can do that with some green quick here. Therapy isn't working. Y'all are the problem. Ah! Ouch! Sorry, sound effects. I'm just going to come in with a little bit of Twisted Citron on a little mini blending brush. I'm just going to stipple this in really light underneath to just kind of give her, I guess, or him, some grounding. Not a lot, just enough. Alrighty, therapy isn't working, y'all are the problem. So the 3 little stamps that could go under here, I was kind of thinking this would work if I would have done a different one. Like do 3 little chicks underneath would be cute. I have some Tailored Expression little chicks. Let me see if I have dies for them, because we could totally do those on there. I don't have the dies for them, but they'll be perfect. There's 3 of them in a row. You could definitely do the little, you know, these ones are, yes, out of print. Sorry. And yes, I'm mixing and matching all of the things. It's what I do best. Truthfully. I enjoy it immensely. Okay. So this one is from the Sarcastic Chicklettes from Tailored Expression. It's, I don't know how old it is. I've had it for a while. I also have the one that goes, you know, like the coordinating one that goes with it. I might have a chicken fetish. Well, I don't want to say fetish. A chicken, like, you know, baby chicks. I might own chicks, so therefore I have to have all the chicken stamps that are alive. That's all I gotta say. I'm gonna come in with the VersaFine. Ooh, let's do that one in the brown, since I have the brown on the card. So I'm gonna bring in Vintage Sepia for this one. And we're gonna stamp that one on the card base itself. And I'll tell you why I'm gonna do it on the card base. Because I'm gonna come in with, do I have a brown? I could do Mementos Espresso probably. So I'm just gonna clean that one off a teeny tiny little bit. I'm gonna bring in this piece here. Is that gonna be, I'm trying to get it so I don't get the words in there. I'm just gonna do a little bit of paper piecing. I think it'll be okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna be, you know, do a little bit of futzy cutting here. And I'm gonna cut inside that line. Either the chickens are running in front of the outdoor cam, or someone's here again. Why? Why do they have to come when I'm busy? Like, you know, annoying. Okay. The other thing I could have done is brought in some gel pens, which would go over the top of the pattern paper, and that would work. Maybe we'll bring in an orange one for their little tootsies. Is my cutting perfect? Nope. Is it a big deal? Not really. I mean, for the most part, and I was planning on coloring, and now I decided not to. So I could have totally stamped them with that VersaFine Vintage Sepia, and my ink colors would match, and when I lay them on top, nobody would know anyways. But, you know, I changed my mind halfway through and decided this would just be easier. So you go here. So I just put a little bit of glue on each of them, and then I'm just going to paper piece these on top. Ooh, that one was a little bit juicy. Just me being overzealous with the glue today. Good golly. Okay, let's see if I can find. I don't know if this one's really orange. It's kind of a peachy color. Is that, well, add some peachy there to the beak. So there is this one. So therapy isn't working, y'all are the problem. Let's find a sentiment for the inside of that one. I childproof my house, but they still get in. Anyone else have that problem? No? I mean, mine aren't kids anymore, but they still get it. Let's stamp that one. I'm going to go with the Vintage Sepia on this one. Oh, those little chickies, they crack me up. Okay, let's see. And childproof my home, but they still get it. And I think we're pretty close there on the sentiment lineup. We're going to come back in with that brownie. You could definitely switch ink colors on this one if you wanted to. And then I'm going to bring in that little orange one again and just add a teeny tiny little bit of color to my stamped chicks. Just adds that little extra touch. And there we go. For the front of the envelope. Envelope art. Let's see. That one's done. What are my other parenting, we're all just winging it. There's just so many cute little chickies on this one. I think I'm going to do the parenting. We're all just winging it. Or hang in there, you're doing great. Let's do the hang in there, you're doing great. I like to put the envelope art on the front of the envelope. Okay. And then we'll add that same little bit onto the front. Just cracking up. Okay, let's see here. And there we go. So that is number 9. There's definitely some other options on, well, this one's layout is pretty much straightforward, right? But I like the option of just adding something little down below there that kind of goes with your main focal image. You know, all in good fun. This one looks like my little sister Kelsey's card. Or Kayla's. I had to have another chickie on there. She's got 4 little chickies. Anyways, so, you know, hang in there. You're doing great. That's and I'm not even on camera. There you go. So that's number 9. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Kind of a quick and easy one, I think. But you know, this one definitely just adding another image, focal image on top of that square works well. Even just a sentiment, if you have a gorgeous pattern piece of paper up on top, would work well. I do like adding the extra pattern paper behind just because it would have been a lot of white, and that's not me. So keep in mind, you can definitely pull in some more pattern paper to use up, especially if this one tends to be a solid. You know, I guess I cheated on that one. It is what it is. I think my camera, like, I messed with it and now it's not in the right spot because I'm used to being up here. Sorry if it was off camera. Anyways, there we go. All right, on to number 10. Hope you got your s'mores ready. It's time for stamp camp.